Hi, and welcome to the One Thing I Know for Sure, the briefcast where we asked one powerful question to reveal deep insight, hopefully inspiring change and transformation in each one of you. My name is Wendy Rosenthal. I am the host and Chief Pathfinder at Pathfinder One-to-One, a transformational coaching practice where we take a first internal, then external approach to helping our clients really transform their lives, stepping into their greatness and achieving all the things they want to achieve. So happy to be here with you today so we can ask this one question of today's guest, who is a very good friend of mine and somebody I very much admire and respect, and I'm grateful that she's here. Betsy Davis, otherwise known as the Saucy Redhead. Hi, Betsy. How are you?
Hey, Wendy. Hey, everybody. How are you?
I'm doing great. Betsy is a private chef, a bodacious baker, and the founder of the Saucy Redhead, which is a catering organization, or let's just say food organization, because it's really all about the love and the food that she produces in her kitchen. She is Southern through and through, studying the art of hospitality at her mother's knee since she was a little girl. And she has been baking and cooking and hosting others for over 25 years. And nothing is more gratifying to her. And I can tell you that this is the truth because I have been the grateful recipient of all of her love and food, is to see someone's eyes light up upon hearing like that sound when they take the bite of her food, which is something usually like, God, Betsy, this is so good. And I'm not just saying that because she's sitting here. It's the truth. Anyhow, Betsy is classically trained. She's also an author. And I just am very grateful to have you here today to ask you this one very deep question, Betsy. What is the one thing that you know for sure?
Well, thank you for such a lovely introduction, Wendy. And I can say without a doubt that the one thing that I know for sure is that we are more alike than we are different. There is so much fighting right now, and everybody's like gnashing their teeth, and everybody thinks they're right. But it's it's all about nuance. I mean, I think we all want the same thing for ourselves. We all want the same thing for our children, and we've got just a little bit of variation in how we want to get there.
That's
And
true.
so part of what I do is I cook for people because I believe that it's a great unifier. It's a leveler. It's something that people can agree on, no matter, how you feel about this, that, or the other.
Right. It kind
Um,
of takes the I don't want to just call it politics, but the one-sidedness away. Because
yeah.
if something tastes really good, it tastes really good. And we all have different tastes, as you know very well. Like I'm a little sensitive to spice and heat, but
Still a little.
I still love the food. The question is, if the one thing that you know for sure is that there is more that unifies us than separates us, how does knowing that, or how has knowing that either helped you in your daily life, or how can incorporating that into any of our thought process change how we see things?
Well, I think that once you can sit down with somebody and you find one thing that you agree on, you might be able to find something else that you agree on. It takes the other out of other people.
Hmm.
And I think that's what causes so much trouble at this point. We're all sort of like, this is the box that I live in, and these are my friends that live in this box, and those people in that box over there, I just don't know about them because I totally don't agree with that. And it used to be that you'd be able to say, "Hey, come to my box and let's talk about this." And we may not agree,
Right.
but I see the humanity in you and you see the humanity in me, and we can just agree to disagree. And I want people to be able to do that again.
Whether it's over a meal or
Yes,
whether it's not.
right. No, I mean in all things. I mean, I spoke with someone who I'm very close to, and he is very upset about things that are happening and has been for quite some time. And I was like, but if you can understand that everybody wants the same thing, like the people who don't agree with you don't necessarily have to be them. You know,
Right.
they don't have to be evil. You just have to come to some understanding that there's humanity in them and there's humanity in you. And more likely than not, you can find a way if both sides are willing to talk. If both sides will take a deep breath and go, okay, I'm going to try to understand where you're coming from.
Sorry, go ahead and finish what you were
Well,
going to
and
say.
I was going to say, and I think that food helps with that. Like all my life, I haven't been in food all my life. I mean, I have, but I didn't do it as a vocation until, I don't know, a little over 20 years ago. But what I've always known is that you can take food somewhere and it makes the table smaller.
Right. That's a great saying. You should quote that somewhere on your website. That's awesome.
Lord, if I had time to go to my website.
It makes me think about it as a coach, right? One of the things that I've actually trained people in companies to do this is to find affinity. It's a great sales tool. It's a great way of networking. Is to walk into a situation knowing that even if you're meeting somebody for the very first time, don't know who they are, don't know where they come from, that within 6 questions, you can find a common link. And so I literally have trained people how to ask those questions. And more importantly, I would say, is how to proactively listen to the answer of those questions so that you can find where that affinity might be. And then the minute you find it, it's like all of a sudden you have a conversation going, and you don't have to be that person in a networking event standing in the corner with your drink going, oh, I can't talk to anybody, right?
Right.
So I think what you're saying is incredibly valuable for many reasons, the most of which is creating peace amongst people. However, it's a great tool. It's a great mindset to walk into situations with. Because if you know that there's more unity between us than what separates us, you're going to look for that affinity, that common ground.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, I understand there's lots of fighting that goes on at your Thanksgiving table or some people's Thanksgiving table, but it's really hard to be mad with somebody with delicious food in your mouth.
It's the truth.
I mean, you can tune out your crazy uncle or your,
Eat more pie.
crazy neighbor. Yeah, just like I heard well, no, I won't tell that story. I think it's appropriate, but I heard of the most people who were completely on opposite sides of an issue. And, she used food as a tool. Like she waited for this person to take a bite of his food so that she could get her word in edgewise. And it worked.
Yeah, that's another great one.
Yeah.
Great piece of advice. Wait till they have food in their mouth. Well, I think actually we should change your one thing that you know for sure from just, there's more that is unifying than what separates us. There's more that unifies us and separates us, especially when there's food involved.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I don't know. I used to work in television production and we'd work late nights, but if you come with a platter of cookies or bagels or whatever, and somebody has something, like it's like a hug on a plate.
Yeah.
And everybody wants to know they're valued.
People.
Yeah. People want to know they're valued, and people want to know that you are looking out for them, no matter if it's a work situation or a social situation or, just sitting on a bench waiting for a bus.
It's again in my coaching, from this conversation, I've created a new visualization that somebody can do when they have to walk into a situation where they know that there might be some confrontation, because that happens in the office all the time, right? Like you have to give a big presentation or you have to answer questions that, may be uncomfortable. And so for me, that visualization is come to that meeting or come to that situation with a box of cookies in your hand. It doesn't have to be a physical box of cookies, but a metaphorical box of cookies. And what does that box of cookies mean? What it means is that you're walking in with a desire to share, something that is loving and caring, right? And so if you can come to a meeting with that mindset, like what box of cookies are you bringing? I might have to steal that from you, Bets. It might be a new practice that I create.
It's okay as long as they're saucy redhead
to the table.
As long as they're saucy redhead cookies.
Exactly, always. I don't even try because your cookies are my favorite too. Really, your cookies are my favorite.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
awesome. I think it's a powerful message, and I think it's a powerful message from, envisioning how food can bring that into your life. But even above that, I think that metaphor of using food as a tool to remember that there's so much that unifies us than separates us is really, really powerful. So thank you.
You bet. Thank you for asking.
All right. So, Betsy, let me know what's going on in your world. How can people find you? How can people avail themselves of your delicious food, whether they're in the Austin area, which is where we are, or somewhere far away?
Well, they could go to my website, which is www.saucyredhead.com. Or they can go to my Instagram, which is at saucyred, and send me a DM and start the ball rolling. I mean, I do upscale dinner parties, I do special occasion baking, I do hospitality consulting, I do all manner of things. I do a little writing on the side. I've been known to help people edit stuff. I don't know. I'm just sort of, I guess, a Jill of all trades, but it's focused mainly on food and
Food.
hospitality.
I was going to say in food, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay. And is there anything coming up that you want to share? Any places that you're going to be, or anything else that you want to let somebody know? Maybe where to buy your book?
I'm excited about one particular party that I'm doing in April. It benefits the Center for Child Protection here in Austin. They're trying to eradicate child abuse, and it's a wonderful organization I've been a part of for, I don't know, 4 years. And I would say look into them, Center for Child Protection.
All right. We'll pull up the link. Don't worry.
Okay, and you can get my book through Amazon. It's part of a multi-author book called Show Your Work, and it's about women and how they navigate the bumpy roads in their life.
Fantastic. Betsy, thank you so much for being here. And for those of you who might be interested in Pathfinder's coaching, you can reach us at www.pathfinder1to1.com. Like I said, we work from the inside out to help you succeed in what you want to do. We have great systems to do that. And so we'd love to share more about our practice. So please check us out there. You can also find us on all of your favorite social media platforms at Pathfinder 1-to-1 on YouTube. And this is on all of those platforms, as well as Spotify and all your favorite podcast platforms. Please like us. Please share us. Please comment. Tell us what your favorite recipe is to bring peace in your house. I would love to see that. So please take a moment and give us your feedback. And we thank you so much again for joining us. Thanks again, Betsy, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.